We're here again to pull out the key insights from a whole stack of sources just for you. Today, we're really getting into something fundamental, actually. It's about the surprising power of asking the right kind of question. Turns out, how we phrase things can totally reshape the answers we find, the possibilities.
That's absolutely right. And we've been looking at, well, excerpts from this really fascinating audio piece called Anatomy of a Question. It's part of a series, HMW, Turning Problems into Possibilities. And it really digs into these how might we questions. Or HMW, it's a framework with roots, surprisingly, way back at Procter & Gamble in the 70s. And then it became just absolutely central in Silicon Valley. It's a way to turn problems into opportunities, basically.
Yeah, I'm really keen to, dissect the actual anatomy here. What makes a great HMW question tick? It feels like there's definitely an art to it. Why does one question spark amazing ideas and another just nothing? So our mission today, for you listening, is to give you the tools to craft questions that actually lead somewhere. Real solutions, not just dead ends. Okay, so let's unpack this. The first big idea seems to be this Goldilocks principle for HMWs. It can't be too broad, can't be too narrow.
Right, exactly. Okay. It's a really crucial starting point.
So what does too broad actually look like in practice?
Well, think about asking something like, how might we solve climate change? Now, obviously, that's hugely important, a massive challenge. But for a team trying to brainstorm, it's paralyzing. Where do you even start? It's more of an ambition, not really a launch pad for actual ideas. It just leaves people stuck.
Okay, that makes sense. Just too big. And the other side, too narrow.
Right. So an example here might be, how might we change our app's login button from green to blue?
But that's not really a question, is it? It's just telling you the answer.
Precisely. It's a solution pretending to be a question. It just shuts down any creativity immediately because you've already decided what to do. There's no space left to explore other possibilities, other ideas.
So is that mostly about the psychology of it? Your brain just kind of switches off exploring? Or is it more a team dynamic thing?
It's really both. Psychologically, yeah, it puts you in a fixed mindset. You're thinking implementation, not discovery. And for the team, it can feel like, well, my input isn't really needed here. The decision's already made. It stifles that divergent thinking you need for breakthroughs.
Okay, got it. So avoiding those traps. What does just right actually feel like? How do we find that sweet spot?
A great HMW needs to be broad enough to spark different ideas, but specific enough to give you some real direction. Let's use the sources example. Imagine we're working for a local library. The too broad version might be, how might we get more people to read? Just very general. The too narrow version. How might we add more copies of the latest bestsellers? Again, that's a solution, really.
Right.
But the just right version could be something like, how might we help busy young professionals rediscover the joy of reading without it feeling like a chore?
Oh, that's good. That library example really lands it. What strikes me there is the focus on feeling the joy of reading, not just the action. Can you talk a bit more about why zeroing in on an emotion or that tension feeling like a chore opens things up so much?
It's huge. When you anchor it in that kind of emotional need or, attention someone feels deeply, you're tapping into something much richer than just a functional problem. Reading feels like a chore. That's not just about lacking time. It's about perception, maybe pressure, losing that sense of pleasure. So tackling that feeling, that emotional hurdle, that's where the really fresh ideas come from. Suddenly you're thinking beyond just books. You're thinking convenience, delight, maybe connection, rediscovery.
And boom, you instantly think of actual ideas, right? Like that book tasting with wine you mentioned, or maybe a curated box of short reads, or even a podcast about books you can finish on your commute. It just opens the floodgates.
That's exactly the sweet spot. When you hit just right, you've given your team a clear area to explore, like a defined playground. But crucially, you haven't told them what to build in the playground. You're offering a sandbox, not a strict instruction manual.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical and pretty useful, I think. Let's dive into analyzing some real-world examples. These were listener submissions mentioned in the source material. Think of this as a kind of live workshop helping you apply these principles.
Sounds good. So the first one comes from someone working for city council. Their question was, how might we get more people to use our city parks?
Okay, first submission. How might we get more people to use our city parks?
Straight away, that feels a bit wide open, maybe? What's your take? Where do you start refining that? You're right, it's a common kind of starting point, but it is too generic. The issue with more people is, well, who are we talking about? It's everybody and nobody all at once. Different groups have totally different reasons for not using parks, right?
Yeah.
Are we thinking families, teenagers, seniors? Or maybe, as the source suggested based on some research, maybe it's remote workers, people feeling cooped up, but who don't see the park as a place they can actually, work or connect.
That's a really important distinction. Okay, so if we ground it in a specific user, like those remote workers,
Mhm.
how does that change the question?
Exactly. To make it stronger, you anchor it. You link it to a specific user and their needs. So, if the research shows remote workers feel isolated, need a change of scene, we could refine it to something like, how might we make our city parks the best third place for remote workers to focus and connect?
Wow, okay, that completely reframes it. Suddenly you're thinking about specific things they'd need. Outdoor charging stations, maybe? Reliable Wi-Fi? Shaded tables you can book?
Yeah.
Even like a pop-up coffee stand? The ideas get so much more tangible because the question is focused.
Right. Let's take the next one. This listener is a manager in a software company. They're HMW. How might we build a dashboard to show our team's key performance indicators?
Ah, yes. I feel like I see this pattern a lot. It's that classic solution baked into the question thing again, isn't it? They've already decided the answer is a dashboard. It's not asking what could we do, it's asking how do we build this specific thing.
It really is. And the key thing here, whenever you spot a solution smuggled into the HMW, is to pause. Take a step back. Ask why. Why is a dashboard needed? Maybe the real issue isn't the lack of a dashboard. Maybe the team feels disconnected from the bigger goals, or they aren't getting enough feedback. The dashboard is just one possible answer, and maybe not even the best one for the actual underlying problem.
So how do you reframe that one then? How do you get back to the core need?
You shift focus away from the proposed solution, the dashboard, and onto the problem it's trying to solve. So a much stronger HMW might be, how might we help our team members feel a clear sense of progress and impact in their daily work?
That feels much more powerful. It sort of changes the energy, doesn't it? From build this thing to solve this feeling.
Absolutely, because it opens the solution space right back up. The answer might still involve a dashboard in some way, sure, but it could also be things like weekly wins meetings or a dedicated Slack channel for achievements, maybe a peer recognition system. It invites genuine creativity, not just execution.
Okay, let's look at our final submission. This one's from someone at a nonprofit. How might we reduce volunteer burnout?
Okay, yeah, that's a really important issue. Very real problem. But the language here matters, right? It's framed negatively. Words like reduce, prevents, eliminate. Our brains kind of zoom in on the problem itself. It puts us in a reactive mode, maybe. Not so much a creative, forward-looking one.
Exactly that. We really want to flip it. Frame it positively. Shift the focus towards the opportunities, towards what you want to build. What's the opposite of burnout? Maybe it's engagement, fulfillment, a sense of connection. It's about what you want to create, not just what you want to stop, right? So if we take that positive generative approach, a much better HMW could be. How might we create a volunteer experience that is so energizing and fulfilling that it becomes the highlight of their week?
See, even just hearing that makes you want to start thinking of ideas. This new version isn't just asking you to fix something broken. It's asking you to imagine and build something genuinely wonderful. It kind of creates a psychological space for real innovation, shifts the mindset from scarcity to possibility. So, okay, for everyone listening, we wanted to give you something really practical, a simple checklist. Like a litmus test, you can run your own HMW questions through before you share them.
Yeah, just 4 quick questions to ask yourself. Ready? First, does it allow for a variety of solutions? If you can only really think of 1 or 2 answers, it's probably too narrow, needs more room. Second, does it focus on a user's need, not your solution? Double check you haven't snuck the answer in there somehow. Third, is it framed in positive, optimistic language? Try to amplify the good, not just stamp out the bad. And finally, number 4, does it make you feel, well, a little bit excited? A really great HMW is generative. It should get your brain buzzing with possibilities straight away.
And if you can honestly answer yes to all 4 of those, then you've likely crafted a really powerful question, one that's ready to spark some genuine innovation. And, even really experienced teams can sometimes slip into slightly solution-focused questions or vague user groups, so it's always a good little check.
I think the core takeaway for me is just how directly the quality of your ideas links back to the quality of your questions. It's worth taking that extra time up front to get the question right, make it specific, user-focused, optimistic.
Definitely. So here's a challenge for you listening. Take a problem you're wrestling with right now, run it through that 4-part litmus test we just talked about, and then try reframing it into a really powerful "how might we" question.
You might be genuinely amazed at where that new question leads you. Stay curious.
Math show, let's go, open up your mind and grow. Facts and stories, things you never know. Every episode, we light the glow. Step into the world of Math show. Turn it up, let the rhythm flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Math Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow. New ideas begin to shine. Breaking limits, crossing lines. Every moment feels divine. In the world of Math Show time. Turn it up, let the rhythm flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Math Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow.